Hey, hey, hey. Okay, are you ready? Is it time to quit that corporate job and start house sitting? Today um, we're going to talk about the maybe the fear of walking away from something that you've committed your years to, right? We're going to talk about what it feels like to prioritize yourself over what other people will think of you. And then we're going to talk about house sitting. It's house sitter season. Spring break is coming. It's already March, and spring break is coming. This is the time of year when more people need a house sitter than there are house sitters in the world. And so we'll talk about house sitting too. We'll talk a little bit about the basics, right? Who is house sitting for and how do you get started and why is it so awesome? So, welcome. If you're new here, hi, my name is Stephanie Perry. I am a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School. I help Black women embrace ease by house sitting, by bopping around as a nomad, by taking a sabbatical or a career break, by moving abroad. If that sounds good to you, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, please, and turn on notifications. Ring that notification bell so that you will be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. Okay, hey everybody. Hello, Jan Casson. And hello, Linda Ellis. And hey, Christy. Hey, Quinn Edwards. Hey, Erica. Hey, Lorna. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, April. Good morning, Auntie Trey. Good morning, JB. JB, I want to quit and house sit so bad, but it seems like hell, every house sit is also a dog sit, and I don't do dogs. Okay, we'll talk about that. Good morning, Yvette. Good morning, Yapa Judah. Good morning, Shauna. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Gigi. Hey, everybody. Okay, all right, Gigi. Let's make some plans. Let's make some plans. I think it's been very clear, or I've been very clear, that this is the year for radical action. Radical. This is a pretty radical year for me. It may also be a pretty radical year for you. I have an agenda. You know, okay, I'm not going to get on this YouTube channel and pretend like I don't have an agenda. I have an agenda, and that agenda is for Black women to do as little as possible. I want Black women to do as little as possible. I want Black women to leave what's not serving them and run towards the things that they want to try, new stuff. You don't even have to know. I got to take these socks off. I'm getting hot. I got socks on. I'm in Costa Rica. All right. Yeah, I want you to run towards the things that you want for yourself, even if that's just some quiet time. Even if it's just some time to do nothing, run towards it. Go get it. Go get it. Right? You don't have to know the full plan. You can know the next step, and the next step might be I need some peace and quiet. Okay, so this is what we're going to cover today in a record amount of time. We're going to do this in a very short period of time. I have a coaching call, I think in an hour and a half. So we have 1 hour to do this video. And then I have a coaching call in an hour and a half. And then Rashida and I are recording some videos for the Exodus Summit YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the Exodus Summit YouTube channel, make sure you go over there and subscribe to that channel. And then we're going to record some videos for later. And then I'm flying out of here. Today is my day. I'm flying out of here and going to El Salvador. Okay, so we have a lot going on. Okay, so I'm going to try to youtube.com/Exodus Summit. Okay, okay, that's the Exodus Summit YouTube channel. So we're going to cover a lot in a record period of time. Okay, let me take a breath. I forgot to put my clothes in the dryer. I was supposed to put my clothes in the dryer before I went live. I was like, I'm 5 minutes early. Let me put on some extra eyeliner. Forgot to put my clothes in the dryer. Okay, so, why are we talking about this today? Number one, it's house sitter season. As I said, spring break is a wonderful time for a new house sitter to get started. If you don't have 5-star reviews on a platform like Trusted Housesitters, it can be hard to get your first house sit. One of the ways to improve your odds is to get in on the busy season. House sitter season is spring break season. House sitter season is summertime. House sitter season is from Thanksgiving into Martin Luther King Day as well, right? Those are times when you can find a lot of house sits, and there aren't enough sitters, I don't think, for every house sit. And so get in on it, okay? House sitter season. Don't laugh at me, Janae. She said 5 minutes early. I was like, look at me, done. Normally, when you see me hit the go live button, like I have just finished. I may still be like putting on the last little bit of mascara. I was like, I got 5 minutes. Look at me being early. My clothes are soaking wet, right? We're going to finish this live stream, and my clothes are still going to be soaking wet. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Rashida. I miss you. All right, so let's talk. So, number one reason I wanted to talk about this is yes, it's house sitter season. Number two reason, I can't stop thinking about a couple of different quotes or a couple of different conversations. One quote, one conversation. So, Tricia Hersey, who is the Nat Bishop, and her business, her platform is called the NAP Ministry. She said, I think it was sometime this week, maybe last week, stop calling it burnout. It's worker exploitation. And I was like, yep. Yes. As much as you know, I don't like a job. As much as I know these jobs ain't loyal, right? As much as I am not, I am anti-job. I have a real strong anti-job bias. For some reason, I'm still using language that makes it sound like you're doing something wrong. Burnout is not you doing something wrong, right? Burnout is just the way it was designed, right? Everything was designed for you to work yourself to an early grave. And so worker exploitation, I was like, oh, I can't stop thinking about it. You know how I get. Okay, y'all know how I get. Something pops in my mind and I just am going to ponder and ponder. And so that's what I've been pondering. That's one of the things I've been pondering on. I talked to Dr. Kimani Norrington-Sands, who is a therapist and a coach. I talked to her on this channel not too long ago, maybe December. We recorded a video talking about Black women healing from toxic jobs. I've already linked to that video in the description of this video. So we talked about Black women healing from toxic jobs. So we do use language about jobs being toxic and harmful. But the burnout thing, I don't know. It didn't occur to me that what the language that I was using was like euphemizing. Is that a word? Creating a euphemism? Is creating a euphemism called euphemizing? Euphemizing the real problem, which is worker exploitation. Oh, okay. So that's one of the things I've been thinking about. And so that's one of the reasons this video is called what it's called today. Also, I had a conversation with a Black woman. I do, coaching calls, and I had a conversation with a woman maybe 3 weeks ago now. And she said, I'm house sitting all over the world, and it's amazing, right? She house sat in the south of France. And some other amazing places I haven't been, right? Some amazing house sits in some amazing places. And she looked rested. She looked good. But when I told her, and she had made some videos, YouTube videos about her house sitting. And I was like, you can share these on LinkedIn, right? Your people who have raised their hand and said, I want to hear from you, right? Those are your LinkedIn connections, your Instagram followers, your Facebook friends, right? They've raised their hand and they said they wanted to hear from you. So I was like, share this on LinkedIn. And she was like, well, I don't want to look like a failure. Right? She said, I don't want them to see I was this. I don't remember what she was. It's probably for the best that I don't remember what she was because it's bad enough that I'm calling her out here. But this is not a call out. This is a conversation with loving kindness. But that she said, I don't want those people who saw me climbing and climbing the corporate ladder. I don't want them to think that I am now a failure. Instead, I'm like, you're not a failure. Are you happy? How could you be a failure? Now, okay, I'm gonna try to keep this on track and not like veer off into all these other conversations. But even if you did fail, so what? Everybody fails. Even if you did fail out of the corporate world, so what? You're still in a better position. You're still happier. You're still feeling better than you did then. But fact is, you didn't. You walked away. You left. You gathered your poker chips and you cashed in, cashed out, cashing out. Cashing out is the book. Cashing out. Win the Wealth Game by Walking Away by Kirsten Sanders and her husband, right? Cash out. And the fact is, the people who worked with her in the past, right, would be so happy to see her out here thriving, right? Out here spending the winter in the south of France in a place you didn't have to pay for, right? The The fact is, they would only be happy for her, most likely, because they saw her stressed out and struggling and crying in meetings, and they would be so happy to see her thriving. So, anyway, these are all of the things that have been going through my mind. And then we finished the YouTube Success 5-Day Challenge this week, and I watched Krishan's video last night on corporate. I linked to Krishan's video in the description of this video. Uh, I'm a pair. Let me get the real title of the video, because if I don't, in my mind, the title of the video was F Corporate America, but that's not what it's called. Let me get the real title. The real title of Krishan's video: Corporate America is Failing Black Professionals. Move abroad. Okay, right. Corporate America is failing Black professionals. Move abroad. Okay, so all of these things are running through my mind. And so we're going to take the next 50 minutes and talk about the solution. I think I know the solution. The solution: quit your job and house sit. House sits are unpaid most of the time. Well, house sits, there are large platforms, international platforms, where you go and sign up and become a house sitter and get booked to house sit. And on these large international platforms, those house sits are unpaid. You're getting free accommodation. I have done house sits that are one night or 2 nights. I have done house sits that are 3 months. And I've shared a 6-month house sit with another house sitter. If you are a person who has a little bit of money or a little bit of an income, and you can feed yourself, right? Quit your job and house sit. If you have the money to feed yourself, right? And free accommodation would help you de-stress for a little bit, recharge for a little bit, take a whole new route, reroute, right? If a little bit of time in a nice place with a little cat or dog or fish, or I was going to say lobster, hamster. I was going to say lobster, right? A horse in the backyard. If that would change things for you, if that would give you restore some health and wellness in your life, give you some peace of mind, I think you should be a house sitter. I did it, and I still do it. And being a house sitter, right, and not having to worry about all of the bills, only having to worry about food and transportation, gave me the opportunity to build an entire business, build an entire community. And so I think that's the solution. Okay, I've spoiled the whole the whole path, the whole path. Quit your job, start house sitting. Okay, I'm okay. So here I go. Sandra says lobster's always good. I've never seen a lobster house sit, but I have seen koi fish house sits. I have seen little hedgehog. A woman had one little tiny hedgehog. They look like little tiny the other spiky animals, right? Little adorable pets. I've seen house sits for big old horses. I've seen house sits for only cats or only dogs. So going back to the original comment, I want a house sit, but they all seem to be dog sits. If you're a friend of dogs or cats, you can house sit. If you're not a friend of either, it's going to be very difficult. Or if they're not a friend of you because you have allergies or whatever, house sitting is going to be very difficult. We're in a time still when people are traveling for shorter periods of time, and people want a house sitter to come in and stay in their home because they need somebody to take care of their pet. And so it is more difficult. There was a time before COVID, there was a time when I used to say, even if you don't like animals, you can house sit without pet sitting. But since COVID, those travelers are traveling less, or they're traveling for shorter periods of time. Right. There were people on Trusted House Sitters who used to go for months and months. We don't have any pets. We just need you to water the plants. Now, it's hard to find those. Maybe they're still out there and there are just more house sitters in the market, but those are harder to find. But you don't have to like both. You don't have to like cats and dogs. If you're a friend of cats and dogs are not really on your side, or if you only like little dogs and not big dogs, there are house sits. Okay, so I'm going to drop my affiliate link to Trusted House Sitters. My link has changed. So I got to get it from the right place. I'm going to drop my affiliate link to Trusted House Sitters. Trusted House Sitters pays me a commission when you join using my link, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Of course, I've linked that in the description of this video. So that first question, you don't need to be, or the first comment, you don't need to like cats and dogs. You don't need to like dogs to house sit, right? If you can do it, if you like, I don't mean you can deal with, if you like cats or you like horses, I'm not kidding about the horses, right? Or you like horses and you want to take care of some horses for a while, go to Trusted House Sitters and look around. You'll see house sits available for something you like. Fish sits are a real thing. I did a fish sit, the fish died. Okay, the only time I ever did a fish sit, one of the fish died. Okay. All right, so I'm back on cats and dogs. I think it's easier to, it's really easy to tell with a cat or a dog if something is going wrong. With a fish, I did not know something was wrong with that fish. And then I had to send her a picture of her dead fish while she was on vacation, right? Plants are plants are not as easy as you would think. Also, plants, it's not as easy to tell if something's going wrong, right? So even if you do find a house that's only plants, you might be a little stressed out. Cats and dogs, they tell you. When a cat's ready to eat, she tells you she's ready to eat. No questions, right? So, yeah. Okay, so house sitting. Who can house sit? I saw this question. Can you house sit with a family? I think was the question. A woman in the Exodus Summit. Hi, Now T. Now T says, I would love to know how to do house sitting with a full family. It's not just me. Is it possible? There's a woman in the Exodus Summit who just house sat with a full family. I think she said she had 2 kids, but I don't remember her saying how old her kids are. Yes. Okay. Now it's going to be more difficult. I'm not going to pretend like it's everyone wants a full family house sitting for them. But there are full families who are traveling for a while and need house sitters and are fine with a full family house sitting for them. Okay? This is going to take some extra steps. If you're more than one person in your house sitting, if you're a family, you're a couple, you're a mother-daughter team, you're a friend, 2 friends, you're going to need to make sure that you both have some good, smiling, friendly-looking pictures on the profile, right? And you're going to need to communicate it when you're applying. I'm house sitting with my kids who are 8 and 10, and they are good kids. They love pets. We had a dog for X years, and they took good care of him, and whatever, right? You need to give a good reference for the family, right? And you need to have good references as well on your own platform, on your own profile. On Trusted House Sitters, it's like you would expect. You set up your own profile, and you can get some letters of reference to stand in and stand up for you while you're waiting to get some reviews. So yes. So the answer is yes, there are house sitting families. I can't think of any house sitting family on YouTube. That's what's missing, right? But so I co-host with Rashida Dow, Exodus Summit, and in the Exodus Summit community, we've had women come in and say, I house sat with my child, I house sat with my whole full family. But I don't know anyone who is sharing that out on the internet. If that's you, if you're a person, if you're here in the live stream and you've house sat with your full family and you've made a YouTube video about it, can you put the name of your YouTube channel in the comments? You can't link. My comments won't allow you to drop a link to the video. But if you would, let people know that you've house sat as a family and you made a video about it. Even if it's just talking about it after the fact. You don't need to show us your family. It could just be you saying, I house sat, my kids are this age and this age. Okay? So, Erica De Niro TV. Let me fill that space right quick. It's me and my teenage sons. Okay? And this is the name of Erica's channel. So, Erica, are you saying you have a video where you say that you house sat with your teenage sons? You got to be clear with me. Okay, that's what I'm interpreting. That's how I'm interpreting this, that you have made a video on your channel. If someone clicks over to your channel right now, they'll see that. If not, do it. Okay? Do it. I mean, please. Hello, Erica. Good morning and please and thank you. Okay? So, yes, it's possible. House sitters need a couple of qualities. A couple. This many. House sitters need 3 qualities. House sitters need to be, maybe 4. House sitters need to be reliable, right? If you're a person who always has a reason why you didn't do what you said you were going to do, seriously, okay? Or if you're a person who always has to leave early or arrive later than you said, okay, house sitting is not going to be a good match for you. But if you can show up when you say you're going to show up, stay the full amount of time, not have always have an emergency that's pulling you away from things, seriously. If people can rely on you, house sitting is for you. If you are fine with taking other people's responsibilities as your own, house sitting is for you. You're coming into the house to take care of the responsibilities, not to leave it for them, right? Sometimes the responsibility is serious. I've house sat in New Orleans during hurricane season, and she had to give me a full protocol. Here are the places that will take a person and their dogs. She had two dogs, right? There are only so many shelters and places that'll take people with pets. Here's where you need to go if a hurricane comes through, right? But you need to be a person who's okay with taking responsibility for someone else's responsibilities. That's why you're there. Free accommodation is wonderful. I'll swim in your swimming pool. Okay, I take house sits with swimming pools now. Right? Only, I only house sit for people who have pools now. I'm getting in the pool. Maybe a hot tub, right? Maybe a hot tub will suffice. But I'm gonna enjoy the house. I'm gonna do a photo shoot in a bath in your bathroom. You have a soaker tub in the bathroom. I'm putting rose petals in the tub and I'm having a photo shoot. Okay? I'm enjoying the house. But most importantly, I'm taking responsibility for your responsibilities while you're gone. So that's a thing you need to be able to do as a house sitter. Third, you do need to be a friend to animals. Okay, you need to be a friend to animals. It doesn't have to be all animals, but a specific. There are bird sits, right? I don't like birds. I don't trust them, and I don't like them. Particularly birds in a cage. I don't trust a bird in a cage. I don't, and I don't do bird sits. You don't need to be a friend to all animals, but there needs to be a population of animals that you like. Dogs or cats, or even small dogs, right? Or cats or big dogs, horses, birds, fish, something. And a friend to animals. You're going to be in their home, and people are bringing you in instead of boarding this pet because they want the pet to feel loved. They want the pet to feel comfortable at home. They don't want the pet to feel pent up or not cared for. And so you're there to care for this pet. You're there to care for the pet, not just tolerate the pet. You do need to be a friend to animals. All right, so we said reliable. We said you need to take responsibility for other people's responsibilities. You need to be a friend to animals. And you need to be, I lost it. Sandra is agreeing with me that we don't like birds. You can hear. So you're hearing my neighbor. I'm in an Airbnb in San Jose, Costa Rica, and you're hearing my neighbor's birds in a cage. There's a house. The house right there, the apartment right there has caged birds, and the window, that whole side is a window. I would never house sit for them. Fourth thing was, oh, self-reliant. You need to be self-reliant. You need to be a person who can figure it out, right? I'll figure it out. If you're a person who every time you need help with something, you reach out to a person for help instead of Googling it, seriously, I'm serious about this, then house sitting is not for you. If you can Google it and figure it out, house sitting will work for you. You're going to end up in strange towns, in strange countries where the washing machines don't function the way you think. In some places, there's like a oven slash microwave that is really confounding to me. I don't know how to use it. It's a microwave with a heating coil like an oven. It's really hard for me to use. I cannot call the client while she's on her cruise and say, how do I use your microwave slash oven, right? You have to be able to figure things out. So those are the qualities of people who make good house sitters. Yes, so yes, you can travel with your kids. No, house sits are unpaid if you book them through the large platforms like Trusted House Sitters, House Carers, or Mind My House. Those are unpaid house sits. You're getting free accommodation, which is why I like a nice long house sit with a swimming pool. Can you bring your own pet to house sit with you? Yes. So this is just like bringing a child or a spouse. Not everyone, right? Not everyone is going to accept a house sitter who travels with a pet, but some are great. Some are like, yes, my dog loves cats. My cat loves other cats. Some of them will be like, well, if you're local, Can you bring the pet by first? Let's check it out and see. Let's see if they get along. Others are a firm no, right? House sitting is not a apply for one house sit, get for one house sit transaction. House sitting is apply for many house sits, get one house sit. So yes, I house sit used to. I don't know. I haven't had any contact with them since COVID, so I hope they're okay. I had a recurring client. They were a couple, and they house sat with their little dog Ruby, who was adorable, little soft little whatever those dogs are called, the little soft poodle things, poodle mix. Um, they house sat with Ruby. Every now and then they would book a wonderful house sit, but Ruby couldn't come. The client would be like, "No, Ruby can't come this time," and then I would go house sit for them. So another solution is bring in a house sitter. You can be a house sitter and bring in a house sitter at the same time. I did it for them probably 3 or 4 different times. Um, okay. So for the most part, is house sitting for you because probably, right? Is house sitting for me because I have a child? Is house sitting for me because I have a pet? Is house sitting for me because I have a job? Sure, right? You house sit when you can. You find house sits when you can find them, and not when you can't, right? You don't have to be. A lot of house sitters are retirees. A lot of house sitters are retirement age people, but you don't have to be, right? You can do it right now. If you're going to take a vacation, you can house sit during that vacation. Get yourself a place with free accommodation in a place that you want to be anyway, right? You want to be there anyway. Get free accommodation, house is nice, and you get a little pet to hang out with when you come home from sightseeing. All right. Let's see. I just want to make sure I'm not. Okay. Osunlade says, I have house sat with my 3 sons several times. No videos. Okay. But you have done it. And are your sons small children? Do you mind giving us your kids' ages? Excuse me. If you don't mind dropping their ages, I suspect that once they're older than toddlers, it's easier to book house sits, and with toddlers, probably a little harder. But that's just speculation. I would try. I would try and see. Locating cozy. Just finished my 7th pet sit, haven't paid rent since January. Congratulations. I'm telling you, set yourself free. Set yourself free. Get rid of them bills, even if it's just for a little while. Get rid of them bills. Let's quit that job and house it. Okay? Please. Please. I like that's it. That's it. 9:28. We can end the video here. Okay? 9:28. We could end the video here. If you're a person who wakes up in the morning and is mad that you woke up because you have to go to this job, right? You would rather not wake up in the morning than go to that job. If you're a person who sits in the parking lot and has to psych yourself up to walk into that job, if you're a person who after meetings needs to go into the bathroom for minutes and minutes, hours and hours to decompress so you don't burn that place down, right? Quit your job and house sit. I know that's radical. You have to decide if you're in a place where you need some radical action. I have an agenda. I'm not here pretending not to. I have an agenda. That's what I want for you. Okay? All right. All right. Let's see. Any other questions? Adea Braxton, how do you house sit when you've never done it before? When you don't have any reviews, you need to have a strong letter of reference, right? You need to have a strong profile, and you need to apply for a lot of house sits. If you want some extra support, so seriously, look at the Trusted House Sitters site. I dropped my link in the chat to Trusted House Sitters. Look at the Trusted House Sitters site and see if you look at what they require for you to set up your profile, and see if you feel like this is something that you can set up on your own, okay? If you don't feel, copy, paste. Here's my affiliate link to Trusted House Sitters. If you don't think that you can do this on your own and you need some extra support, that's what House Sitter School was created for. I have a digital product called House Sitter School. It's a series of short videos that walks you through the process of setting up your profile, applying for that first house sit, getting the review, doing the house sit in a way that you get the reviews, right? House sitter school exists for people who want some extra support. And you can find house sitter school at housesit.vicarious.com. I'm mostly sure. Sit.vicarious.com. Okay? If you don't think you need any extra support, go ahead and get on Trusted House Sitters. Like, seriously. Go ahead and get on, right? Do a house sit somewhere locally and get that 5-star review and then be off into the world. Janae's done, do you have an account, Janae, on how many house sits you've done? I know Janae did a house sit in a part of Mexico that I didn't know was beautiful. Mer, Mer, where did you go in Mexico? I thought it was a flat place. There was mountains there. I can't think of it. She'll tell us. Janae did a beautiful house sit in some part of Mexico. I was like, oh, that's not. I always assumed it was going to be flatland, like, because it's close to Texas, I think, right? I thought it was going to be a flat place. So you can get to places that are on your list, or you can get to places you never even considered, right? Give yourself the freedom and the gift of being wherever, seeing what happens, trying some things out. Okay. Insightful Travels. I'm on the platform, haven't done anything yet. It's just, but it's coming. It's coming. You have to apply, apply, apply. Monterey, that's it. I was like, when I was in the Army, one of my good little friends, he was very small. I shouldn't have done that, but one of my good friends, I should say, but back when I was in the Army, he was from Monterey. He never told me it was a beautiful place. I assumed it was flat and dusty, like, you know, El Paso or whatever. All right. I'm looking for your questions. Cece, have you ever house sat and it wasn't to your level of hygiene? No, because I don't take house sits that don't already have amazing 5-star reviews from the other sitters, right? I don't play the let's see game with house sitting, right? I'll let's see a lot of things. Let's see what happens. I'm in an Airbnb right now. When I got here, I was like, I don't like this, right? Oh, my light went out. I don't like this. I don't play that with house sitting. With house sitting, I need to see pictures of the house, right? Including the room I'm sleeping in. Most people on their profile will do a good job of this, but some people don't because they don't really know they don't know what they're doing. They're new, right? So most clients will show you the room you're sleeping in, the kitchen, the living space, the bathroom. Show me some pictures. I don't want to see 80 pictures of your cat. Your cat is cute. One picture is enough, okay? So I want to see where I'm going to be staying. Show me pictures of that, and then I want to see amazing reviews. I mean, glowing reviews. Not like house it was good, no complaints. I mean, like listen. If I'm available next time, I'm snatching this up out from under y'all. Y'all ain't never gonna get to this house. I've left that review before for people, right? I want amazing, glowing reviews. Sometimes now that I have so many reviews, I get fewer people wanting to do a Zoom call, and I get more people just saying, can you house sit for us? But back in the day when we did a Zoom call, they would walk me around with their laptop and show me the house, you know. I don't like surprises in house sitting, and I have only walked into one surprise, and that surprise would not have happened if I had asked her, or if I had not applied because she didn't have reviews. She didn't have any reviews. I should not have applied for that house sit. The surprise was that her dog got aggressive for a few seconds, and he had done. And once I told her about it, she said, "Oh yeah, he did that with another house sitter too." And I'm like, this dog needs professional training and boarding, not a free house sitter, you know. But that's what reviews do. If the house sitter had felt comfortable enough to leave that review, I would have known better. House sitters tend to be people who believe, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And the problem is that then they don't tell you what's really up. And so no reviews on a profile from someone who you can see has already had house sitters, huge red flag. Gretchen, if you have some sensitivities there's no way to fix, house sitting's not going to work, right? So if you're sensitive to certain smells, right? You walk in a house, you don't, do they have 80 plugins plugged in every socket? You don't know. To ask there are questions you can't ask. You can't ask enough questions to find some things out, right? If you walk into a house, if you have things that are going to make you miserable while you're house sitting, right? That you can't plan for certain things, then it's not going to work, right? See, I'm serious about that. I'm serious about that. I'm not talking about, oh, a standard level of sensitivity to smell. I'm talking about, like, I'm assuming the fact that you type this out tells me that there is a higher level of sensitivity to smell. I wouldn't risk it. Right? Personally, I wouldn't risk it. You can say to people, "I have a sensitivity to smells. Can you think of any reason?" But people don't smell their own house. They don't smell what's in that house. They don't know, right? I had a pineapple. I forgot that I had cut apart a pineapple and left the pineapple rind or whatever in the trash. And for some reason, for days, I didn't smell it. And then Thursday was trash day. I took it out and I was like, oh, how did I not smell this all this time? I've been in the house all this time. I didn't smell it, right? People don't smell their own house. If you're beyond, if you have a thing, right, that is like noise, smell, if you have a thing that is, don't say that. I love me some Fabuloso. I got Fabuloso here. I'm packing up because I leave this Airbnb today. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could take the rest of this Fabuloso with me. They had a recall. And I was like, you're not recalling my Fabuloso. Right? There, house sitting is not for everybody. Just be clear. Pay for a place to stay, enjoy yourself, right? Don't put yourself through misery if it would be misery, right, to be in someone else's home. I'm so serious about that. I don't do misery. I don't do struggle. We're not doing struggle. We're not doing house sit so that we can struggle, right? We're not doing house sit so that we can deal with, right? We're doing house sits if we think it's going to help us thrive, right? Same with the no bugs, no mice, no. Because the house sitter would have said in the review, even whether they would have said there was an insect problem, which I've seen, or just like this house was not as pictured, right? That's a thing that people will say. It was not like the picture said. No, I'm not stumbling. This is why we house sit through platforms like a Trusted House Sitter instead of just getting our own house sits. You can get your own house sits. And you can get paid by these clients. You can go out, advertise yourself as a house sitter, and get clients on your own. But you got no reviews. You got no insurance record, no insurance if you accidentally burn the kitchen down or run the dog over with their car, right? And you got no reviews, no insurance protection. You've got no easy place to find the house sits, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay, Deborah says sandwich the poor comments in between the good ones. Okay, so you have to read the reviews thoroughly because nice people like Deborah are going to start off with something nice and they're going to end with something nice, but the real story is in the middle. Okay? The meat of the sandwich is between the bread. Okay? Kelly V. Reed, I know this may sound crazy, but I was thinking about skipping out on this month's rent and using it to pay for house sits in Mexico and Trusted House Sitters. Booked an Airbnb until I booked a house sit. I don't understand what you mean by skipping out on the rent, though, Kelly, because you're going to have to pay it back anyway. Do you mean, because you're going to have to pay it back, right? You can't just skip a month rent. Am I confused about something? I'm talking for long-term house sitting, right? If your lease is up or if you're month to month already, or if you own that place and can't nobody tell you what to do, quit your job and house sit. Seriously. ADHD cutie on single mom duty. What a lovely name. I love this name. I left my good government job of 15 years and moved back to Florida with my newly graduated son. Good. I wish I'd known about house sitting then. I refuse to go back to the workplace. Maybe it's not too late. Maybe it's not too late to start house sitting, but get yourself a house sit. All right? Get yourself a house sit. All right? I'm just looking for any new questions. They're probably just new. Quinn says she sees a lot of house sits in Canada, but they don't have reviews. They're probably just new. I personally don't do them, okay? But what I would do if I was going to a house sit with a client or applying for a house sit with a client with no reviews, I would ask some very specific questions, including, right, tell them it's just because you don't have any reviews yet. I need to know, how does your pet handle strangers? When is the last time your pet was with a new person and how did that go, right? And then I would ask, is there a housekeeper coming? That's a pretty good clue. I do quite a few house sits with houses that have a housekeeper, right? And the house is only going to get so messed up, right? There's only going to be so much of a problem. There's a housekeeper coming. Um, and then, yeah, the Zoom call, if you're a person who feels like you have good judgment, get on that Zoom call and just keep talking, right? Keep talking to them until you have a feel one way or the other, right? Then you also need to have a strong, if you're going to take a house sit from somebody with no reviews, you're going to have to be willing to suck it up if something goes wrong, right? If you commit to the house sit and you get there and there's mice there, right? Are you going to just put yourself, talk to trusted house sitters so they have insurance, right? I would probably put myself in a hotel or Airbnb and then come and take care of the pet, right? Right? I don't mean stay in a house with mice, but I do mean you are still the house sitter. You're still the pet sitter, right? And you're going to have to figure out some recourses. The easiest solution I know is I don't take house sits from clients who don't have amazing reviews, right? Solves a lot of planning I don't have to do. Then I don't have to do a whole lot of planning. So no, tea time. If you find surprises, can you just end the house sit and leave the dog in the house to die? Like that's the outcome. If you end the house sit, is the dog in the house dying while you're back home? Right? Serious. This is why house sitting is for people who are okay with taking over other people's responsibilities and for people who are friends to animals. So you may need to find a different place to stay, but still fulfill the house sit. Like seriously, that would be the thing that I would do. If I walked into a house that was, I'm not putting my suitcase in here. I'm not sleeping in here, right? Then there is insurance protection that you get from trusted house sitters. I would get in communication with trusted house sitters and the client as soon as possible. But you have to fulfill that house sit, right? That's why I don't do surprises with house sitting. No surprises. Okay. All right. 40. Okay. We have 15 minutes left. Okay. So if you're one of these people, one of these women who is exploited at work, right? No more burnout talk, right? We're not talking burnout. We're talking worker exploitation. If you're experiencing worker exploitation, or just like you're done, I'm just done. I'm over it. I've done it. It was good. Or maybe it wasn't good. And either way, I'm over it, right? I think you should quit your job and I think you should become a house sitter, okay? So I made a resource called the New House Sitter Toolkit, which is at housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. I'll link to that in the description of this video. It's a few different resources that I use to book house sits, including the exact letter that I use to email people to apply for the house sit, and some other stuff, some like food delivery apps and cell phone SIM card, the Google Fi SIM card link and stuff. I have that together in a new house sitter toolkit, which you can get at housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. Spring break is a good time to try house sitting out. And you can try house sitting out where you are. You can look for local house sits so that you don't have the stress of travel added to the stress of doing a whole new thing, trying a whole new thing. So if you have a little bit of time during spring break, maybe Easter weekend, you're available, or maybe, whatever. Y'all know spring break. If you have a little bit of time, go ahead and get a house sit. Get started house sitting. Get that first 5-star review. If you're a reliable person, if you're okay with taking care of people's responsibilities, if you're a friend to animals, and if you're able to be self-reliant. I'm getting more and more replies and updates from women who have started house sitting in this community. And man, they doing good. Y'all out here doing good, right? And so we don't want to say, we're not hoarding this. We're not hoarding the house sits, okay? We want you to go ahead and get in on it. Every more than every week now, because for a while I wasn't hearing back. Y'all were doing it, but not reporting back. So something's happened, and I finally expressed to you how much I want you to report back. Now y'all are reporting back, and y'all are like, "Oh yeah, 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 it's been good. I've been house sitting all over Texas." We talked to somebody here just a couple weeks ago, right? In the chat, it was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I'm house sitting all over Texas," right? Because I like to house sit in like Mexico and Europe. People think that you have to house sit somewhere like that. You can house sit wherever you see house sits on Trusted House Sitters. That's where you can go. You can house sit with just your car. That's why I do. Part of the reason why I continue to do the summer house sitting road trip is just to remind you that you can house sit just wherever you can get in a car. It doesn't have to be I'm packing up and I'm flying to the Netherlands. Did a house sit in the Netherlands, and it was wonderful. And it was this time of year. It was April. We're coming up on this time of year. Spring, the flowers were in bloom, the flower farms. I never really understood that flowers grew on farms. I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I thought. I'm not a farm person, but I'm from Delaware. I'm from a farm state. I'm used to just driving by and seeing corn and corn and corn, right? I'm used to seeing farms, but for some reason, I didn't really put together that flowers grew on farms. I knew of greenhouses. I didn't know they grew on farms. I went to the Netherlands. Monique picked me up. We just drove just farmland full of flowers, tulips and hyacinth and whatever that other Easter flower you see all the time that makes me it makes my throat hurt, right? Beautiful, beautiful time to be in the Netherlands, and I was only there because of a house sit, right? But you can do it right in your own backyard too. Yes, yes, catch that. Yes, you sleep at the house sit. I'm talking about extreme examples, right? Extreme situations. Yeah, you're sleeping at the house sit. You're living in that house like it's yours, right? You live there like it's yours. So safety tips, any safety tip around the house, anything that keeps you safe in your house will keep you safe in a house sit. Don't run with scissors, right? Like my house sitting safety tips are just house safety tips. Be safe in the house by being a safe person inside of the house, right? You're in a person's house. We don't have to fear other people. Other people are just people out here living their lives, right? A fear of other people will keep you from living your life. It's just a person with a house who's going on vacation, right? Not I can't think of that clown, killer clown, right? The biggest safety tip that I've had to use is don't open closet doors unless you know what's in there, because I've run into mannequins 2 times now. 2 different house sits, they had a mannequin. I'm afraid of mannequins. I'm afraid of not store mannequins, but like Halloween mannequins, like mannequins with a face, a mannequin that is made to look like a person, like the churches do, like Catholic churches, the scary Jesus, and right. I'm afraid of mannequins. I stayed in a house sit. They were like, my car, I'm keeping my car in this garage. Just keep your car in the driveway. And then but keep it on this side of the driveway because the golf cart is in this garage. And it was on a golf cart community where you just drive around in a golf cart. You're welcome to use the golf cart over here, is what they told me. I opened up that garage door and there was Halloween mannequins in there. I never saw that golf cart. I never used that golf cart. I just walked around that island. If I didn't want to get in my car, I walked. That is my safety tip. Ask them if they have mannequins. Okay. White people love them some Halloween decorations. 2 times I have run open. The second one was the one I just did in Nashville. I guess that was last year now. Nashville, with the 2 rowdy dogs. They also had Halloween mannequins in the laundry room. No, it wasn't. The closet across from the laundry room. Yes, you're there living in a house. People live in that house, and you're going to go and live in that house. right? A fear of other people will hold you back. Do what you need to do to not be afraid of other people. That only holds you back. Okay. If you're worried about serial kill, we're not going to, okay, then we're not going to house sit. Okay. If you think that there's a serial killer out there who's just waiting for you to book their house sit, then we're not going to do it. Don't house sit, right? Give yourself the ease and the peace of mind of feeling like you're doing the thing that you want to do and not the thing that you don't want to do. Okay. You're welcome. Oh my gosh, they were very rowdy dogs. They were good dogs, but for some reason, when I started that live stream, they were like, and now it's time to tear things up. Okay. Hi, Celeste. My first house sit was in my hometown, 3 hours away. I had a great experience, even got a 5-star review. Great. Despite breaking a jar in the bathroom, accidents happen. I went to the store and bought a decent replacement. Okay. Accidents happen. I have broken a corkscrew. I can't think of, aside from the fish dying, I can't think offhand. I know I've broken. Oh, and I broke, oh, you know that beautiful Mexican glass, right? Those heavy glasses with the blue, the clear with the blue. I broke one of those. I'm like, ooh, I'm sorry. I don't remember. I would have gone to look for more, but I don't remember if I actually replaced it, honestly. I don't remember replacing it, but I remember being like, girl, that's a nice glass. I'm sorry. Probably what I think I remember is that you had to buy a big set and not an individual, but I don't know how I resolved it. Right? Okay. So I think I've answered the questions about house sitting. Yes, you can house sit with other people. You need to do a good job of giving those other people reviews of your own, giving them a reference, right? When you apply for the house sit, you're going to have to talk up the other people. Yes, you can bring your own pets. Same, right? Some people are going to be an automatic no because they don't want to deal with that. But some people will be like, sure, right? He likes cats. My dog likes cats. My cat likes other cats. Sure. And other people will be like, well, let's see. Are you close by? Can you bring the pet by? Can we try it out? Okay. Tina B, I just booked a house sit with my son for Portugal. Can't wait. That's amazing. Thank you, friends, for reporting back. Right? It was for a while there. Nobody was telling me stuff. I'm like, I know y'all out here. I know y'all are out here because Trusted House Sitters was sending me messages like, thank you for the work you're doing. I'm like, I know y'all out here house sitting. You're supposed to report back. So thank you, friends, for reporting back. I appreciate that. Right? So it wasn't, I was looking for the washer when I found the Halloween closet. And and so I found the washer in the hall, in the across the hall. So it wasn't in the laundry room. But I was looking for the laundry room when I found the washer. It was, I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them, right? I don't know how to tell the difference between a mannequin and a person who really does want to kill me. I don't know the difference, okay? Here's the difference between me being afraid of mannequins and anyone in the chat who is afraid that serial killers are in the house, right? The difference is I just don't go. I need to just ask, do you have any mannequins in your house? Or keep the door closed. But my fear of mannequins is not going to keep me from living my life. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna book a house sit. I'm gonna tell you that, and I'm gonna go into church with the scary Jesus and take some pictures because they're usually pretty beautiful, right? I'm just not turning. I'm going to stay in the doorway. I'm not going too far in that church. All right. Good question. Tia, do you have trouble with visas while house sitting? As a house sitter, you're just traveling on a tourist visa. You need to know how long you can be in that country before you commit to that house sit, right? In a lot of places, US passport holders get 90 days pretty easily, but you need to know that. In some places, US passport holders get 180 days. Used to be in the UK, which I assume hasn't changed. When I was in the UK, you got 180 days. Mexico, good chance you're going to get 180 days. But you need to know that and don't apply for house sits if your tourist visa is going to expire while you're there, right? You're setting yourself up for a future of struggle travel. If you overstay a visa in a country, you're setting yourself up for struggle travel when you want to go to another country that's going to look into that stuff. right? Some countries are, they'll look into that stuff. So you want to just, you need to know, you need to, what I like to do is apply for a house sit and then double check some stuff, right? Apply for the house sit and then be like, do I need a visa for Malta? Once you apply for the house sit, you can always unapply. I'm sorry, I'm no longer available for these dates, is all they need to know. Good luck to you. Best of luck, or enjoy your travels or whatever. I've done that. I've applied for a house sit that just looked amazing, but I don't really know. Like, how do I even get to Malta? Right? I've applied for the house sit and then gone back and double checked the tourist visa situation. For me, it's usually just tourist visa situation. And is there like an international airport there? Or does this mean I'm gonna have to take 8 ferries, to get to the place? I'll take a ferry. Okay. I'm not opposed to it as a person who has nowhere to be and all the time in the world to get there. I'll take a ferry. I'll take the slow path to a house sit. But you like to know, right? You want to know how much is it going to cost me to get there and how long it's going to take me to get there. I do a lot of like house sits if I know I want to get to a place. Let's say I book a house sit in Malta, right? Well, first I want to book some house sits in London. I know I can get a pretty relatively decently priced flight from London to New York, right? And then I'm going to work my way to Malta, right? Mostly trains, and then at some point I'm probably going to have to get on a ferry. And so maybe I need to try to look for a house sit if I'm in London, maybe then I next look for a house sit somewhere in Germany, right? I'm getting closer. And then I guess look for a house sit in Italy, and then, or not, or just a place to stay in Italy for a couple of days before I bop over to Malta. I think Malta is near Italy. I think you get there from Italy, but I don't know. That's a thing I would investigate. All right. Okay, so I've dropped my new house sitter toolkit link, which is housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. You see a couple of ladies in the chat telling you that the letter in the toolkit that you use to apply for house sits is good. It's a good letter. It's the letter that got me all of my house sits that I've booked through Trusted House Sitters. You need to make it your own. It sounds like me, right? You need to make it your own, but it's a good template, right? You want to explain to them why you want a house sit. You want to let them know that you read their posting, right? You're not just applying based on pictures. You actually read what they require. It's a good template for you to use. And then you're going to make your own letter, copy and paste it, right? When you see a house that you want to apply for, copy and paste it. And then just change out the stuff that you need. You should look for a house sit in Portugal next month, right? So it's Easter season, spring break season there too. They do Easter too, right? And they travel to see family too. So look for friends. It's house sitter season, okay? Look for house sits in the places that you want to go if you don't want to pay for accommodation. If a free place to stay would make your time more enjoyable, then do it, right? If a free place to stay don't mean nothing to you, then don't do it, right? Because you do have responsibilities. As a house sitter, you do have responsibilities. So you decide, right? There are times when I don't house sit. Some house sits have popped up here in Costa Rica since I've been here. I haven't done them. I got work to do. I don't feel like it. I need to be in a place where I know how things work right now, right? February was a busy month for me, right? Do it. Yes, thanks. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, right. So use that letter that's in the new house sitter toolkit to get yourself those house sits. That letter and you being yourself on that Zoom call. That's what you need, right? Get on the Zoom call, talk to them, let them know why you're into house sitting. Be chatty. Be chatty, right? You're a stranger who's going to stay in their home while they're gone. So have a conversation, all right? And again, if you need some extra support, my house sitter school is for people who need some extra support, who don't think that they can get the house sits, can get a strong profile set up without some extra help. It's okay. When we need help, we get help, right? So if you need some extra help, House Sitter School is helpful. So in the new House Sitter Toolkit, you'll see a link to House Sitter School, okay? Also, I would say if you've been on Trusted House Sitters and you've applied for more than 20, I would say if you've applied for more than 20 house sits, just go ahead and get House Sitter School. Let me help you, okay? Let me help you get booked. The House Sitter School is designed to help you get booked, right? The first 10 or 20 applications, 10, for some people, right? Some people will get booked in 3, right? But if 10, it depends on where you're going, right? How in demand those house sits are and how early you are to applying, right? If you're the 40th person to apply for the house sit, you don't have a very good chance. But if you're the first person to apply for a bunch of house sits and you're not getting picked, okay, get house sitter school. I made it to help you, okay? Don't just keep struggling and don't just give up if it's something that you want to do. Are all expenses paid? Hi, Mabel. Nice to meet you. I think you're a new face. Welcome. No, you're getting free accommodation when you house sit. You're responsible for your own transportation, your own food. Those are the only things I need. Whatever else you need, your own needs, right? You're getting free accommodation. So I've done 3-month house sits, 3 months of free accommodation. I've also done a bunch of 1 and 2 and 3 week house sits back to back to back, back to back to back, for a full year. Might have been 2018 into 2019, or maybe 2019 into 2020. I think it was 2019 into 2020. I house sat for in the 11 out of 12 months. 11 out of 12 months, I house sat. That's 11 out of 12 months that I didn't pay for a place to stay. In between, I do stay in Airbnbs, or would go back to my mom and dad's house. Or back then, I would stay in hostels, pre-COVID times. But 11 out of 12 months, that one membership to Trusted Housesitters, which was $100 and some back then. Now there's a $200 membership that's worth it if you're doing international house sits. But that least expensive membership, right, gave me free accommodation for 11 months. But all you're getting is free accommodation. Everything else is on you. Sometimes a nice client will make you some food or buy you some food, but you're paying for your own travel, transportation, food, whatever else you want to do while you're there. All you're getting is free accommodation. Okay? Would you mind, friends, giving this video a thumbs up? Go ahead and hit the like button, please. We're at 640 pairs of eyeballs watching this video. And I would appreciate it if you would each take a second and like this video, because liking the video gives YouTube a little indication that you think other women would like the video, right? Gives YouTube a little indication that it should show this to other Black women who are ready to quit, right? To quit, to stop worrying about what other people think about their lives and start living their lives. That's a thing that house sitting can do for you. If you are just struggling with the idea of leaving behind the things that you've done, the work that you do, the credentials, the degrees, the accolades, remember that you're not throwing them in the trash. They still exist. Okay? They're still there. Plenty of people take sabbaticals from work or career breaks, just quit. Plenty of people just quit their jobs and then take some time off and go back to work. Go back to a better work situation. We don't want to quit, take time off, and then go back to a terrible work situation, right? But plenty of people do it. And survive. And their degrees are still there, their experience is still there, their network is still there. What they now have is maybe they have a little more perspective, little more clarity about what they want for themselves. Maybe you have a little bit of a language, a second language or third language skill. Maybe you went someplace and picked up a little Espanol, right? Maybe you came back with some other skill set that you did not have time to focus on while you were busy working and being exploited by your job, right? And so people do it. People do it, okay? I'm going to drop another resource here, which is called Exodus Summit. If you're really, really considering taking some time away from this job, okay, and you just don't know how to actually do it, actually, I need to give you a couple of different links. Rashida Dow is a career break coach who teaches women how to do this, who teaches Black women how to take a career break, how to leave your job, how to make a plan for this break, how to find out how much time, how to figure out how much time you're going to be gone, how to get the money together, how to figure out what money you need, how to get the money together, and then how to make a re-entry plan if you want, or not if you don't, right? Career Break Coach Rashida Dow's program is called From Burnout to Bliss. And this is the place where you will get the support you need to do this thing. You don't have to say, oh, it would be great, but I don't know how to do it, and then leave it at that, right? When we need help, we get help, and this is help, right? If you're thinking, oh my gosh, it would be amazing to have 6 months, 12 months, 24 months to do what I want, but how do you do it? This is how you do it, okay? You get help. You get coaching in a program where the coach knows how to do the thing, and the students are also working on the thing. You get coaching, you get community with other Black women who are on this same path. Some from Burnout to Bliss alumni. Any from Burnout to Bliss alumni in the chat? Roll call, right? You get an opportunity to, you get, no, not an opportunity. You get the tools you need to take this opportunity, right? So Rashida and I probably know 1,000 women who have taken a career break. I don't know. Does that sound like a bad number? We know a good number of women. I don't know. We have a community of, we're almost at nine, it was nine, we're over 9,000 women in the Exodus Summit community. We probably know 1,000 Black women who have left, right? Some have gone back, some never went back, okay? If you think you're a weirdo because you want to do this thing, maybe, maybe you are, but there's a lot of weirdos. There are a lot of Black women who have decided, oh, actually, I don't really want to have a heart attack in the next year. I actually don't want to repeat what I've seen older women do, right? Which is work themselves to an early grave. Actually, I don't even want to have a life where I have to talk to these white people, right? I'm so done with these white people. You can have a life where you can have a life where you have the things that you want and where you don't have the things you don't want, okay? I think a career break is the first step. I think a sabbatical, nothing will change your life. Like a lot of time as an adult where you don't work. Nothing will change your life like that, right? Even the lottery, you could pour a whole bunch of cash on somebody, but if that person doesn't have clarity in their lives, right? If they don't have peace of mind, how much help was it, right? Nothing. I'm telling you, we talk this talk because nothing will change your life like a whole bunch of time as an adult where you don't work. Okay, so from burnout to bliss is where I would point you. If you're like, this sounds good, but okay. If you haven't even, if you hadn't really been thinking about it, but now you're thinking about it, okay? Let me point you to Exodus Summit, but I'm going to point you to Exodus Summit 2020, okay? Exodus Summit 2020 was a virtual summit for Black women to plan their sabbatical or their move abroad. We had speakers come in and just tell you about all of the aspects of taking a sabbatical. But let me see if I can find this in a reasonable time. It's a lot. Okay, I'm not going to pretend. Exodus Summit 2020 is a lot. But there are, you can look at the sessions and when you go there, you can tell which sessions are going to be for you. So Exodus Summit 2020 is was a sabbatical all about, I mean, it was a virtual summit all about the sabbatical. So I'll point you there if this is a new conversation for you, right? We also have a playlist on the Exodus Summit YouTube channel, okay? So if this is a new conversation for you, I would go to Exodus Summit 2020 and I would go to the Exodus Summit YouTube channel and watch the 9 hour, we have a 9 hour video, okay? Okay, so if I were brand new to the idea of taking a career break, okay, I would go to the Exodus Summit YouTube channel. That's not spelled right. Summit has two M's in it. That's not spelled right. I would go to the Exodus Summit YouTube channel and I would watch that mega mix. It's a 9 hour video where Black women talk about their career breaks, okay? I'm trying to indoctrinate you. I don't think I'm not going to pretend like I'm not, okay? I'm trying to make career breaks and sabbaticals normal. I want to normalize this. Right? This community, we want to normalize career breaks. And one of the ways you normalize it is that you see other people doing it, okay? So first I would go to the YouTube channel, which is called Exodus Summit, okay? And then I would go to Exodus Summit 2020 with that long link that I posted that I'll put in the description. I think I posted the 2020 replays, right? With the replay link. Did I not post that one? I didn't post it? Yeah, I did. Okay. Those are the two resources I'm going to point you to if this is a new conversation. Exodus Summit 2020 replays are at exodus-summit.heysummit.com/replays. I know it's a long link, okay, but you can do it. That is where I would go if this is a new conversation. If instead you've been thinking about it, but you haven't made any progress on it, I'm sending you to From Burnout to Bliss. Okay, from burnouttobliss.co. Career break coach Rashida Dow has put together a group coaching program to help you make progress and stop saying, I wish, I should, I want to, okay, and actually do it. Okay, we saw some alumni roll call. Hello, Marissa. Marissa took a career break last year. Marissa is a From Burnout to Bliss alum, took a career break last year and planning her permanent exodus currently. Wonderful, right? So I've pointed you to the resources for that, okay? And then I've also pointed you to my house sitting resources. The new house sitter toolkit, which is, I can find this link. Like, let's do it. Okay, which is housesit.vicarious.com/toolkit. And then my affiliate link, the link to join Trusted House Sitters, right? Trusted House Sitters is where you go to get house sits. It's the platform you go to get booked as a house sitter. Okay, so I've given you the resources. Oh, okay, so CAWKNEE. Connie, friend, we ended this live stream. I'm sorry. It's the shortest live stream I've ever done, but we have to end it because I got to go. I have some coaching to do. I have some packing to do. I have some laundry to finish because I fly to El Salvador this afternoon. And I'm going to El Salvador. March is a retreat month for me. So I'm taking this month as a retreat. I'm still doing some work, but I hosted and co-hosted two challenges in February, did some book stuff in February. March, I'm going to take it a little easier. So I'm going to El Salvador. The retreat that I'm attending is called Reclaim. Adelia Aborshade, who is Picky Girl Travels the World, and Ivana Robinson, who is Ivana Run the World, are hosting a retreat in El Salvador in the middle of March. So I'm going now. I'm going to take a few days to retreat before the retreat. Then I'm going to attend the retreat, and then I'm going to retreat after the retreat. Okay? So March is a retreat month for me, and I'm starting that right now. So we're starting that by ending this live stream at a surprisingly early amount of time. Okay? If you need more information on house sitting, I have a playlist on this YouTube channel. So go to my channel, look at the playlist. You'll find a house sitter school playlist. Watch some more videos, but the questions I've answered most of the same. Everyone has the same questions in the live streams. I've answered the questions here. I just did them a little faster. Thank you very much. You know I will. Anne says, let us know about El Salvador. You know I will. All right. So I'll share some pictures and some El Salvador stuff with you as well. Okay. Okay. Let's do one last thing. Can you let us know in the chat before we go? Can you let us know in the chat if you are considering house sitting, if you're considering a career break, if you're considering both, or if you've done one, if you've already done them? Can we get that roll call? I think it really does help when you have new people. It really does help for people to see how many of us are already doing it. Are y'all still here with me? Also, thank you for hitting the like button. We got it up to 417, so thank you. We have 611 pairs of eyeballs, 417 likes. So thank you very much for that. Okay, can we do a quick, right? If you're thinking about house sitting, if you're thinking about a career break, if you're already house sitting, already on a career break, again, all we want to do is normalize it, right? What we're doing is not new, right? But it's just not the norm. It's not yet the norm. There will be a time when Black women just leave their jobs when they feel like it. Return if they feel like it, right? It's not the norm now. We're probably the most loyal to jobs that are the most disloyal to us, right? Our jobs are the most disloyal to Black women. We know they pay us the least, they treat us the worst, and so there's a new wind. There's a new wind, a disloyalty wind. Disloyal. We are not loyal to these jobs. Okay. I have a merch shop. Depending on where you are in the world, you might see my merch shop. If you need a "These Jobs Ain't Loyal" sticker, or mug. There's stickers, mugs, tote bags, t-shirts, sweatshirts. If you need a sticker that says "These Jobs Ain't Loyal" to remind you why you're signing up from burnout to bliss, go ahead and get your merch. The merch goes to our Vicarian Sabbatical Fund because we as a community are we send Black women on sabbatical. We sent a Black woman on sabbatical. We just gave her the money a few weeks ago. And right now we're sending a Black woman on retreat. The retreat that I'm attending, she's attending too because we are sending her there with the money from that merch shop. Um, so I feel like I'm getting into a new subject. I don't want to get into a new subject. I got to go. But okay, thank you very much for that. Okay, thinking about a house sit, expatriating eventually, early retirement and house sitting. I'm considering house sitting. Yes, we'll be house sitting. Okay, Althea, I hope so. Okay, right. House sitting with my husband. We're retired, planning to move to Ecuador in August 2024 or sooner. Good. Firefly Odyssey is out of here. Celeste is already house sitting. Hey, Celeste. Right. Let's see. House sitting. Halisi has house sat. House sitting is the way. Yes. Okay. Margaret's thinking about house sitting. Tina B. Leaving the job is the goal. A scribe, God blessed. Left government job, now consulting from anywhere. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Both. Charles Zetta. That's hot, girl. I'm sorry, but I think your name is a tongue twister. Charles Zetta. I got it. I got it. Says both. Both. Hermes addict, I may house sit. I recommend it. Okay. Rashida Tate, I'm considering house sitting. Okay. Already taking a career break. Wonderful. Since last August. Thank the Lord. Thank you too. Thank you for doing a thing for yourself. That is not easy. Thank you for doing that. Ruth Harrison, retired 2021. Congratulations. AM, considering house sitting. Not living abroad though, and not a career break yet. That's fine. Janae, already house sitting. Thanks, Buddha Lion. House sitting, Chloe. House sitting as we speak. Good, Chloe. Do you like it? Where are you? I hope you like it. Okay, Tanya set up her house sitting account. Wonderful. Bear Lux considering a career break. Ruby's considering both. Okay, you know me, Mystic Tish, thinking about both. Good. All right. Angela left the U.S. already. Currently living the life of my dreams in Mexico. Already did it. Already did it with a family. Tamika, sabbatical, considering a sabbatical. Nubia Net, taking 5 weeks off of work between June and July. More vacation. Good. But it's still, you can call it a sabbatical, as far as I'm concerned. If you want to call it a sabbatical, call it a sabbatical. Auntie Trey retiring. Candidity, taking 2 sabbaticals now. I'm about to quit the job next month. Congratulations. And wonderful, wonderful. Sandy, register for Trusted House Sitters. Need to get off my butt and book. Yes. Yeah, go ahead and use it. Put it to use. Put it to use, right? I'm not telling you to join Trusted House Sitters and then just keep your membership sitting there. Put it to use. Men XOXO, maybe both. Sona, hi. I'm thinking of house sitting as a way to figure out where I want to retire. Good point. Yes, you get to see some new places and see some new places from the perspective of a person who lives there instead of a perspective of a person who's on vacation there. That's good. All right. Kaha says yes to both. Doris, house sitting is in the plans. Currently on a career break. Yes. I think you posted something recently that I missed that I was told I need to go back and look at. Congratulations to you, Doris Nance. Catherine Muhammad, house sitting. All right. I got lost somewhere. Christine, live in the Bahamas, considering here as a start. Yes. Men break. Yes. Aging allowed, aging allowed. House sitting and becoming an expat. Nicole, considering both. Left and on a sabotage now. I think sabbatical. I think it got her. The autocorrect got her, right? Left and on a sabbatical now. Right equity is Reba on a break or considering a break. Brenda considering house sitting. Okay. Sandra, future house sitter here. Okay. All right. So if you need to make something more normal, if it seems so strange to you, normalize it. Normalize it by getting in community with women who treat it like it's normal. Okay? That's probably here. All right, I gotta go. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, Lucille. Okay, so next time you see me, I will be in El Salvador. So I'll keep you posted on how I like it, what it's like. Okay. Friends, thank you very much for joining in. Thank you for participating. Thank you for answering questions in the chat that I couldn't get to. Thank you for taking such good care of each other and me. Thank you for giving me such good grace. All right, remember to give yourself that same grace, right? That same grace that you've extended to me, right? Not expecting perfection from me, not expecting sacrifice from me, right? You don't expect me to sacrifice the things I want. Okay, now please return that same grace to yourself. Okay, give yourself the same grace that you've given to me and to the other women in this community. All right, I gotta go. I'll see you guys very soon. Have a wonderful Saturday. Bye, friends.